We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Grayson Murphy, Miami Dolphins edge defender. Going back, looking at, some of these guys going into year two, and Murphy is one from last year that was my favorite UDFA by far. Coming out of UCLA, he had such fun film. I still am surprised he didn't get drafted. But okay, I think last year, he had a strong camp and was, looking good in that first preseason game, and then unfortunately got that injury. And I think they just wanted to stash him, so they put him on IR. Like, I don't think his injury was like that serious. We had to go season ending, but he missed the whole season because of that. But his film's so fun. Like, the way they used him constantly, like his versatile alignment and his pressure rate was so high. Like, I believe he had like the most pressures in college football when he was at UCLA, like him and his twin brother. And just the way he's able to win, like he's a technician, very good hand usage, clearly rushes with a plan. He even makes some good plays versus the run, like when he with quickness and stuff like that. But just like watching his game, getting from off the edge, he can bend and win, but also like really good hand usage. Like I'm talking about being a technician, flexibility combined in there, fluidity, just a strong game like that. I think the only reason like maybe he'll be held back a little bit at the next level, like I don't see him being like a starter or anything, is he doesn't have like the perfect like power profile that you're looking for. I think for edge defenders nowadays, like you need a combination of athleticism. I think his power is just like average at best. He's not going to win too much in that situation, but he does play with some toughness, which is good to see. It's just I think I think he can develop into a rotational player, and I think that's what you want out of either Murphy or Kamara, because you want a guy that can become like a third edge. Because after this season, I think there's a chance both Phillips and Chubb will be gone, and you're going to want you to find multiple edges. If one of them can step up to at least be an edge 3, that really helps out with that room. But here's Murphy in this preseason game, the one clip I got from here. He got hurt pretty quickly after this. He came back in and played through the injury a little bit, but didn't get to be as effective. But this was like right away, first play. He has a really good feel for space in the run game. Like he is a guy that is willing to gap exchange. He understands like, what's going on here, the flow of this play. He's going to have help over the top. Like the linebacker is able to replace him. He knows he has the corner on the outside, but just really good work feel-wise. Use your hands, quickness, gap exchange, toss this guy to the side, take a chance here, still get in the backfield, show some core strength to work off the other guy. Just really impressed with his ability, his instincts versus the run like that. That's where he usually impresses as a run defender, those types of plays. But this is a big part of Murphy's game. Here he is versus Colorado. He is not the far edge defender. Like he gets one-on-one with guards a lot at the UCLA level, and he hits like these perfectly timed like hop, sort of club there. He hits the hop, club, rip underneath, and then he's able to just completely turn and get this guy's side opened up. And he just plays with a good flexibility to get after the quarterback and even bend from the like interior spots. That's why I think like if he does. Like, the edge room is pretty stacked, so, like, you're hoping to keep him around in some capacity, I think, going into year 3. But, like, man, if he ever has to see the field, I think in those obvious pass rush situations, you line him up on the interior and allow him to utilize his quickness to beat guards and stuff like that, because he does a lot of fun things. Here he is around the edge, showing some bend. He meets Latu at the quarterback. Like, he had more pressures than Latu, and Latu was a first-round pick in the same class, and he went undrafted. Here he hits the cross chop, kind of, doesn't hit it perfectly, super cleanly, but he's constantly throwing moves, and he's still able to bend. You can see the hip flexibility to get around the edge, play with the bend there, and get after the QB, get a nice hit on him. That situation. Here's another rep of him one-on-one with a B in that B gap, just instantly winning. Just hits the hop, cross chop, that left hand, his inside hand hitting the cross chop on the outside, hits it on the elbow, which immediately gets him the positioning that he wants. He's in a great spot, and now he's able to dip and rip underneath. Doesn't get the sack here, but he instantly puts Shedeur Sanders off his spot. The quick wins and pressure rates from the interior it was so fun to watch in those obvious pass rushing situations. Was probably my favorite part of his game coming out of college. Here he does it again, beats a center with quickness. He's just very fluid, flexible. Does a great job combining his feet with his hands. He stabs to the inside, gets this guy to shoot out. Boom, quickness, good hand fighting. And he's after the quarterback, gets a hit, forcing him to just basically chuck the ball up very, very quickly. And he's just constantly putting these guys off their spot. Like the fact that look where he's aligned here. He's aligned as a 4-eye. hand in the dirt. And as a 4-eye, he's still able to get out and basically turn into bending around the edge off a guard. He's able to dip, rip underneath, show that bend, basically makes the QB move off his spot, just constantly making them feel this pressure, which he, in the film backs it up, the numbers back it up. Here you actually get to see him use a little bit of power, some play strength. Like, he's not weak. It's just he doesn't always constantly create a huge push with speed to power, but he is able to catch people off guard. Like, here he hits the foot fire, kind of stab to the outside, work to the inside to cross face, kind of catch this guy off balance now, and then does a really good job, like, torquing this guy, playing with good hip flexibility. Look at this sort of bend in that lower half, and that allows him to kind of catch the guy off balance. Really good leverage and pad level in the situation, and then uses that hands, keeps fighting, and now is able to open up, get himself free, get another pressure and a hit on the quarterback. It was just constant in college. Another example of him not getting the sack, but he gets the quick pressure, which leads to this, his other teammates getting to him. Just winning around the edge with a basic, rip, gets hands on the QB, which caused Sanders to just throw it away again. Just really, really, man. Murphy was so fun to watch. Here's another rep of him winning quickly. Like, this is when they're all best pressure players are on the field. He's the one that kind of gets soloed. The other two get the double in this situation, so he knows he has to be the one that wins, only bringing 3. He hits the cross chop. He hits the cross chop with the inside hand, and then the club, and then the rip. And then he's able to get around the edge and win that just that fast. One-on-one. Able to, soften the corner here, because when you want to be able to flatten and soften this edge, and because you don't want to get too wide and force like an easier step up into the pocket. And he does a really good job, I think, at softening the edge with like the way he attacks offensive linemen. Like, he gets up on him quickly. Like, I feel like a lot of guys, you might see them get too wide quickly, which will allow this guy to get out on that space. But he attacks the outside half and doesn't even commit his move until he's super close to the tackle there, which allows him to soften the edge there, which is really, really good. And as I'm talking about making plays versus the run, this is something that translated to that preseason game. Is how he's able to quickly gap exchange crossface, this time, versus a guard, hit the arm over, quickness into the backfield. That's a big part of Murphy's game, for sure. Here he is off the edge, doing this, not even from the far position, but getting around. Like, he's inside shade of this tackle. The fact that he's able to get to the outside of the tackle that quickly, play with bend. I believe that's versus Cam Ward, too, when he was at Washington State. Chase him down very quickly. Like, he's got juice, man. Like, he is athletic, very athletic. I think if there was more, like, I like seeing some of the power, getting a little more physical in these reps, because I know he's got the technical part of the game. I know he's got a little bit of that finesse to his game, but I love when he can get low, really good pad level and leverage, and be able to like fight through the contact. Like, he doesn't necessarily need to always win with power. I just think power is a big part of winning at the NFL level, because the NFL players are a lot more technically sound, very athletic, so it's tougher to beat them with those moves. So being able to overpower, I think, is like the next key step for his game. But like, he's willing to get physical, hand fight through stuff, get around the edge. Doesn't finish on Cam Ward, but he gets another quick pressure and at least forces another throwaway from how quickly he was able to win. Here's Murphy again, just on these interior sort of reps. Where he's not like the completely end guy. He does get going against the tackle, but Latu drops. And the fact that he's just able to basically open that up, force Sanders off the spot again, like, it was absolutely dominant. Here he is blowing up a play with just quickness. Look at the first step explosiveness. There, times this up, able to follow the pulling guard. The guard pulls through, you pull, kind of throw his own tackle into the running back, and he's the one who doesn't get credit for the tackle, but he is the one who blew up that play. Very, very impressed with Murphy. And he just has such a good feel for space. They're running, like a sprint out, full offensive line sliding, basically. And he just feels what's going on here, sees this guy get overstepped just enough, and he's going to take advantage, kind of throw that by, get upfield, and look at him readjusting angle, because he's going to take that inside angle, but he doesn't want to allow the guy to still get to the outside. So he, right away after doing that, still readjusts that angle to the outside, to not allow Ward to get out there, and then forces another throwaway, gets a clean hit on him. Like, it was so much pressure. And doing it from different spots. Look at him He'll hit a hump move on you for sure, where he attacks. I love this. Like, look at him explode off the ball. Look at him compared to everyone else. He's already flying off the ball, up the field. Love the first step quickness. That's a great part of his game. Look how low he is too. He's flying off the ball. He's really hard selling this outside move. He's looking like he's gonna dip and rip. He gets this guy to overset. Boom, now he's on inside of him. Look at him engaged here. Look at the flexibility in his hips. And look at the balance to stay on his feet after throwing that guy off of him. And then Cam Ward escapes after that. But man, his college film was so much fun. And he looked like he was going to show something. Unfortunately, the injury derailed that. And the edge room is pretty stacked. But Murphy is still a name that I will be watching out for heading into this year too. Because honestly, like I think this year's UDFA class is better than last year's UDFA class. But I still think Murphy, out of all of them, probably had just the best straight up film. There had to be something because him and his brother both led the country in pressures, and I think both should have been drafted. Like honestly, they could have been like round 5 picks, in my opinion. Um, Even if you told me they went round 4, it wouldn't have been like that crazy to me. That's so there maybe there was some some other concerns I'm unaware of, but I haven't heard anything. But his film really solid. He's a player I'm excited to see how it translates in year 2 after having a year in the system. I think he's a good system fit. Got stick around. Hopefully, that means maybe year 2 if he doesn't make the roster, he's a guy that you can definitely keep on your practice squad if he stays healthy, because it's I think less likely for him to be claimed if he's waived, especially going into that year 2. But he was a guy that they gave decent money to last year as well as a UDFA. So he's a guy they clearly like, and I think he was showing promise. So let's see if that can translate into a year 2 type of thing. Because if there's any like year 2 UDFA that was not someone who made the initial roster last year, Murphy was one of them because of the injury. He's the one that I definitely think has the most chance of like making him like that sort of 53 the second year in comparison. I even liked him more than some of the UDFAs that made the roster last year. Like I like Andrew Meyer, but I still think like Murphy had better college film than him. So if you guys really do, like, comment, subscribe,